All right, folks, another weekend of Unrivaled basketball is in the books. And so I'm going to give you guys, once again, my top 5 takeaways from the weekend that was. Item number 1. How about the Hive and the Lunar Owls, both getting their first wins of the year? Hive getting their first win of the year on Friday, pulling the stunner and taking down the reigning champion Rose and giving them their first loss of the year. And it's like I said last week. This was a team that I felt needed a couple of games to figure things out. And when you look at it, this was a Hive team that looked like they improved by the game. And then you had Kelsey Mitchell, who had the best game of her unrivaled career so far with 24 points, shooting 11 for 17 from the field, and hitting the game-winning layup in the game. And listen, this is a Hive team that I've been high on coming into the year, and I told you last week how I like the contributions from Sonia Citron and Sanaya Rivers, which, by the way, I feel like Unrivaled is going to be a coming out party for Sanaya Rivers being one of the better two-way players from this past draft class in the W. But that's a good job on Hive getting their first win of the year and pulling the upset against the Rose, and the Lunar Owls got their first win of the year on Monday against the Vinyl, and you had Marina Mabry trying to fight people again. What else is new? Getting into it with Courtney Williams, that dust up there. And of course, in the first game, she had that dust up with Suge Sutton. But antics aside, it was kind of fitting Marina had a big game, having 31 points, shooting 10 for 22 from the field and 6 for 12 from 3. And of course, it was fitting that she had the game-winning 3. And Marina, she had a good weekend of basketball this weekend, and she definitely cleaned up the turnovers from last weekend. She had 8 turnovers in each of the 2 games from the first weekend, but she only had 3 total this weekend. And you had Skylar Diggins finally coming back after recovering from that lower extremity injury. But that's a good job by both teams getting their first wins of the year as far as the weekend is concerned. And I figured that one of them was going to get it, well, this next upcoming weekend, because I think they play each other some point this weekend. I don't know. But that's a good job by both of the teams getting their first wins of the year. That's item number 1. Item number 2, I'm going to give you the Rose. So the first weekend of Unrivaled, this Rose team looked unbeatable. Chelsea Gray putting the smoke on everyone and walking teams down. But the Rose lost both of their games this weekend against the Hive on Friday and the Laces on Sunday. And last week, I asked the question, do the Rose look like a team that's relying a little too much on Chelsea Gray being dominant? And over the course of the games from this past weekend, it kind of looked like a yes. Because Chelsea Gray accounts for roughly 42% of Rose's scoring, which is something that is definitely worth noted. But nevertheless, I'm not too concerned about the Rose. I think they're going to be just fine. I mean, even in the Hive game from Friday night, it felt like Chelsea Gray was getting ready to walk down the Hive and take over the game and have yet another game winner. I mean, after she hit those back-to-back threes in the fourth quarter, I was saying, oh boy, here we go again. Chelsea Gray is about to strengthen her unrivaled MVP and her unrivaled GOAT case. And then Kelsey Mitchell ended the game, like I mentioned, with that layup. And you had Kalia Copper coming back over the weekend. And a pretty good game from Kyle on Sunday. But most of the scoring came from Chelsea and Ka from the game on Sunday, as they combined for 43 of Rose's 66 points. And everyone else was in single digits. But nevertheless, I think these losses were more or less a wake-up call for everyone to step up and tighten things up. So I think the Rose are going to be just fine. I think they're going to be fine. So that's item number 2. Item number 3, I'm going to give you the Laces. Now listen, I figured this Laces team was going to be decent this year, but man, they look good. Really good. And folks, how good has Jackie Young been so far on the year? She has been balling so far. And on Sunday, she had an unrivaled career high 35 points with Asia Wilson in the building, no less, checking out the Jackie Young Chelsea Gray Bowl with the Laces and the Rose. And listen, this is a Laces team where they don't just have one option they can beat you. It feels like they just do things by committee and everybody understands their roles well. I mean, one night you can have a big game from Jackie Young. One night you can have a big game from Brittany Sykes. One night you can have a big game from Alyssa Thomas. And listen, we knew that going into the year that they were going to be the smallest team in Unrivaled. They don't have a player on the roster over 6'2". But it was also expected that they were going to be a tough physical team. And so far, they have just been that. I mean, this is a team that I have really enjoyed watching so far on the year. So that's item number 3 for me. Item number 4. How about Paige Beckers having the game of her unrivaled career on Monday night as the Breeze got a dominant win against a very good Mist team, 83-64, and Paige Beckers, 37 points, 14 for 19 from the field, 5 for 8 from 3, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and a block, and of course hitting the game-winning mid-range shot. And then she found out at the end of the game she won that free throw challenge that Unrivaled did this year and got that $50,000 bonus. And it's like I've been telling y'all, Paige is as electric as she is efficient. And she has just been incredible so far in Unrivaled, just as we expected her to be. And last week I told you about how fun this Breeze team is. Now look, they did fall asleep behind the wheel on Saturday against the Vinyl, but for the most part, this is a team that's just been playing some beautiful basketball on both sides of the ball. And if they keep it up, this Breeze team is going to be very dangerous when it comes to late in the year. That's item number 4. And number 5, one team that stood out to me so far this year is the Phantom. I mean, they've been playing a lot of good games this year. I mean, even in the losses, they've been playing some really good basketball. Kelsey Plum has been really good to start of the year, and having a couple of game winners there. And Aaliyah Boston, how good has Aaliyah Boston been so far? I mean, she has just been phenomenal this year on both sides of the ball, dominating the paint. And I see she's been working on her three-point shot as well, getting more comfortable with the three ball. And of course, you have those contributions from Kiki Iriafen, who is another big physical post player from this past draft. And listen, I can't wait to see Dana Evans make her Unrivaled debut for this Phantom squad and see what she adds. But with all the contributions from everyone from the Phantom, this is a team that I can see being very dangerous this year. I mean, having Tiffany Hayes and, of course, Natasha Cloud having some good moments there. This is a team that I can see them being dangerous. I can see them being dangerous. And you know what? I'm going to give you another takeaway. So if you are a fan of the Atlanta Dream, this was a pretty darn good weekend for you. I mean, you had Naz Hillman and Jordan Canada of the Laces squad winning both of their games this weekend. And then on Saturday, you had Alicia Gray with the 30-piece and the game winner in the first game for the Mist. And then in the second game, you had Ryan Howard with a 30-piece and the game winner for the Vinyl. So a lot of ATL vibes, if you know what I mean. I mean, if you know, you know. Those who get it, get it. But nevertheless, very good weekend of basketball as far as the world of Unrivaled is concerned. Like, comment, subscribe, click that notification button to be notified of when I post again, and also follow me on Twitter and on Bluesky at CW's Talk Sports. That's CWTALKS Sports, and I will see y'all the next time. Peace.